The world clamors for your voice, demanding constant input, endless opinions. Yet, true strength is rarely found in the cacophony. It resides in the deliberate quiet, the measured pause. A man who masters his tongue masters a fundamental aspect of his being. This mastery is not about suppressing thought, but about directing it with intent. It is the quiet strength that underpins true authority, the deep well from which potent action springs. Most men mistake constant speech for engagement, noise for substance. They fill the void with hasty words, revealing more of their own insecurity than any wisdom. The silent man, conversely, is a mystery. He observes, he processes, he waits for the opportune moment. His silence is not emptiness. It is a charged space, pregnant with potential. Consider the ancient warrior before battle. His mind is a fortress, his strategy honed in the quiet solitude of preparation. His words, if any, are few, precise, and carry the weight of absolute certainty. He does not waste breath on boasting or apprehension. His power is in his readiness, in the controlled intensity that radiates from his stillness. This is the essence of masculine power, a force that is felt, not merely heard. It is the deep understanding that words, when used sparingly and with purpose, become infinitely more valuable. A man who speaks without thinking is like a craftsman who wields a hammer indiscriminately. He creates more damage than construction. His opinions, his judgments, his very essence become diluted by the sheer volume of his output. The world learns to tune him out, to dismiss his pronouncements as mere background noise. This is the path to becoming invisible. The truly powerful man understands the weight of his utterances. Each word is a stone placed with intention, shaping the landscape of opinion and action. He knows when to speak, and crucially, when to remain silent. This discernment is not a passive trait. It is an active discipline. It requires immense self-control, a constant vigilance against the urge to react, to explain, to defend. When a man cultivates this inner discipline, his silence becomes a weapon. It can disarm opponents, create space for contemplation, and force others to confront their own thoughts without the distraction of his voice. Have you ever noticed how the most respected figures, the true leaders, are often men of few words? Their presence alone commands attention. Their silence is a beacon, drawing others to seek their counsel. This is the power of the unspoken. It is the bedrock of stoic virtue, where reasoned judgment precedes impulsive expression. Marcus Aurelius himself, in his Meditations, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This directive, in essence, calls for action over empty rhetoric. It calls for the internal work that manifests outwardly through deliberate choice, including the choice of silence. The modern man is bombarded with stimuli, pressured to perform, to share, to broadcast every fleeting thought. The path of silence is a rebellion against this incessant demand. It is a declaration of sovereignty over one's own mind and energy. When a man chooses silence, he is not retreating from the world. He is engaging with it on a deeper, more potent level. He is building an inner fortress where his thoughts are refined and his resolve is strengthened. This inner sanctuary allows him to face adversity with a calm demeanor, to navigate complex situations with clarity, and to make decisions that are guided by wisdom, not emotion. The world often mistakes quietude for weakness, but this is a fundamental error. True strength lies not in the volume of one's voice, but in the depth of one's character. A man who can control his urge to speak, to dominate every conversation, demonstrates a profound level of self-mastery. This self-mastery translates into every aspect of his life, from his relationships to his career to his personal pursuits. He becomes a man of action, not just words. His presence is felt, even when he is absent. This is the power that lingers, the influence that shapes environments and minds long after the initial interaction. Why do you think so many ancient philosophers and spiritual leaders emphasized contemplation and introspection? They understood that the most profound insights emerge not from outward dialogue, but from inner stillness. The practice of silence is a gateway to this inner wisdom. It allows a man to hear his own intuition, to connect with his core values, and to understand the true nature of reality without the distortion of constant external noise. It is in these moments of profound quiet that a man discovers his true north, his unwavering purpose. This deliberate restraint also serves as a filter. It prevents him from engaging in petty arguments, from spreading gossip, or from making commitments he cannot keep. His words, when they finally come, are therefore imbued with a gravitas that commands respect. They are the pronouncements of a man who has considered his path, who has weighed his options, and who speaks with the authority of conviction. Consider the image of a sculptor chipping away at marble. He does not add, he removes. He reveals the form that is already hidden within. In a similar way, a man who practices strategic silence does not necessarily add more words to the world. Instead, he refines his expression, removing the extraneous to reveal the essential truth. His carefully chosen words carry the precision of a surgeon's scalpel. This selective engagement ensures that his influence is focused and effective. He becomes a force multiplier, where his limited output yields maximum impact. The man who is always speaking is like a leaky faucet, constantly dripping, achieving nothing substantial. The man who masters silence is like a dam, holding back immense power ready to be released with decisive force. This is the ultimate expression of masculine self-control. It is the ability to resist the immediate gratification of speaking one's mind in favor of a more strategic, impactful outcome. It is the understanding that true power is not about being heard, but about being heeded. When you choose silence, you are not being passive. You are choosing to be deliberate. You are choosing to be strategic. You are choosing to wield your most potent tool, your own mind, unburdened by the noise of impulse. The world will continue to demand your voice, to pull you into its endless discourse. But you can choose a different path. You can choose to cultivate the quiet strength, to harness the power of the unspoken. This is the path of the disciplined man, the path of the wise man, the path of the man who understands that true influence is built not on the volume of his words, but on the profound power of his silence. Master your tongue, and you will begin to master yourself. The world clamors for your voice, demanding constant input, endless opinions. But true strength, the kind that endures and shapes destiny, is rarely found in that cacophony. It is forged in the deliberate quiet, the measured pause. A man who masters his tongue masters a fundamental aspect of his being, becoming a force felt, not merely heard, shaping worlds with his measured presence.